Hello everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Amber Reads Romance. I just randomly decided I might want to try do this vlog, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to actually follow through with it. I am participating in the Fanfic Readathon, and after reading my first fanfic, I thought it would be fun to just kind of do a vlog real quickly. We'll see how many I do. I'm not sure how many books I'm going to have a chance, or fanfics I'm going to have a chance to read, because I have you know, a bunch on my TBR I need to get to, but I will see how it goes. So anyways, I read my first fanfic, and it was called In Silence and Submission, and I will put it up here because they did have like an actual artwork for it, and I think her name was Gillianeliza is the fanfic author, and I think this is the best fanfic I've ever read. Now keep that in mind, I have not read Manacled, so that would probably top them all, but it's such a big one that I always end up putting it off. So hopefully one day I'll read that. But this is a Hermione fanfic, and which is Draco and Hermione, if you don't know. And I freaking loved it. It was a BDSM, which I loved Contradictions. Last year I read Contradictions because Jen from the Book Refuge had recommended that. She also recommended this one, so that's why I jumped into this. She did say it was like her new Contradictions. I actually liked it better. It was between Hermione and Draco. It's like 10 years after the war, and we have Hermione is like in a friend group. She's no longer with Ron. In this fanfic, just be aware, it's major Ron bashing. Like, he's a total douche. He's an asshole. He's like big in Quidditch and cheated on Hermione and like humiliated her. And he kind of like blames her for people dying, which it's like, how is it her fault? And that leads into a lot of the conflict with Hermione because she does feel so guilty. So I really liked that element in this book. It dealt with grief and survivor's guilt and PTSD and all of that in a really beautiful way. And they kind of have a friend group. Harry's no longer with Ginny. And it's kind of like this mixture of Slytherins with like the Gryffindors in like relationships. Hermione's been pining for Draco, and he's been pining for her. He's actually been into her since she punched him like in year 3. And in this, he actually stopped Bellatrix from continuing like Cruciatus Curse and like messing with her. So there's that little bit of difference, I believe. But he's been very into her. She's been very into him. And she's just like really holding in a lot of her trauma. So he thinks the BDSM would be a good thing for her. He has her research. They go through this BDSM relationship. He's a very good dom, great aftercare. Like, they do a lot of talks beforehand, and it's taken really responsibly. And that's what I love when BDSM is used to help somebody through trauma, to help build trust, to show her that she's like the one in power here and in control. And they're using safe words and communicating. And I just really love that. So I really loved this book. Sorry, my son's calling me while I'm filming. Let me just hit that ignore. So I really loved it. The sex scenes were so hot. Draco is a sexy dom. He's all about, you know, giving her the pleasure and helping her, you know, get her grief out. And he wants more. Like, he wants more with her. She wants more with him, but they don't think the other one really fully wants that. So there's that, like, you know, scared to make the move kind of thing. But I just absolutely love this, the way that he helps her deal with her grief, and that when she finally lets that out, it's this huge catharsis. But also she has to continue to see somebody, you know, to kind of like their therapist, to work on her issues. It's not just going to be like healed by the BDSM. So, and then they end up telling each other they love each other and then making love, and it's just really beautiful. This fanfic actually ended really beautifully with like 2 epilogues. So a lot of fanfics don't always end perfectly, and I thought this author did a really good job. So I gave this 5 stars. It's like a 4 on the chili spicy scale. I absolutely recommend it. It's so good. It's perfection. So I had to do another prompt for something without like wizards. So non-Harry Potter, which I had all like Draco stuff. So I did a supernatural fanfic, which I'm a huge Supernatural girl. Like, I love that show. I watched it for 15 years, obsessed with it. And I always saw how they made jokes about like the Destiel thing, that they had fanfic. Like, they would make jokes in the show about how their fans would write this like male fanfic between Dean and Castiel. So I'm gonna read that. It's like a one shot. It's a really short, like 5K word one. So I will check back in with you once I finish that. Should be pretty quickly. I didn't have time to read at work today. It was my first day back at work after my vacation, so it was busy, but I will finish that and I will give you guys an update. Hey guys, sorry my lighting is really bad in my room, but my son's playing video games out in the living room, so I'm just gonna do my quick check-in. I just finished the Supernatural fanfic. It was really short and cute. It was a little weird for me because Dean did not act like Dean in this show. If anybody was gonna be kind of like the bottom, I thought it would be Castiel, but Dean was the one getting it in this. And it was spicy. It was good. It was hot. It was just the characters kind of seemed off. Dean is very, like, if you watch Supernatural, you know Dean's character, and it was just a little off. But, I mean, it's kind of what you expect with these fanfics. I mean, they're not going to have the same exact character completely. But I really did enjoy it. It was a quick, fun one-shot. The book was called In My Mind, You're Mine, and it's by God Hates Tyler. So I enjoyed it. I mean, it's really short, so it's not like you can give it like a huge rating or anything. I would say like 3.5, 4 stars for it being such a short one. And I was just kind of like laughing during it because Dean was not acting like Dean, so that might have taken me out of the moment. But I'm enjoying this. I'm going to jump into a Lucius Malfoy and I believe Ginny Weasley one, because I'm doing the prompt for Dip Your Toe In, trying to do something a little different than my usual Hermione, Draco and Hermione characters. So forgive this lighting. I'm sitting here after work. I think I'm going to jump in the bath and then, you know, make dinner or whatever. But thank you so much for watching this. Oh, and this is my Venom shirt. Just rocking the Venom to work. I tend to wear like a lot of Marvel or Star Wars or things to work, and I love that they're okay with that. But anyways, I will check back in with you once I finish the other one, since these fanfics aren't like super long. I think this one's going to be a longer one, obviously, than the one shot. And then we'll see if I end it there, or I might read I downloaded like 6 different fanfics, so we'll see how much longer I want to keep going at this. But I want to try and black out my bingo board, so we'll see if I can do it. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, so I am just doing my final check-in here on this Fanfic Readathon. I actually think I'm going to stop at the last book I read because I need to get back to my regular TBR. But I had a change of plans in my TBR. I did see Rachel Reads and Sings actually posted about a fanfic that she really loved, and it was a different pairing than Hermione for once. So I was going to read a Lucius Malfoy one, but I decided to drop that and read this one because she gave it a really good rating. And it is The Secretary by, I think it's Pacificrimbaud. I think that's how you say it. But it was really cool because it was actually inspired by the movie Secretary, and I love that movie with Maggie Gyllenhaal and James Spader. It's so funny, dark and quirky, and it's like I mean, this one doesn't get as dark as I think that movie does, obviously. But, and this is between Pansy and Percy. So I had never read a pairing like that, and I thought it was really cool. Pansy is an interesting character. She was like a Slytherin. She was kind of a bad little bitchy girl in the movies and books and stuff, but I've seen her in a couple fanfics, so I think she's kind of a favorite for them to write on. And she is basically getting, her parents are gonna like not support her anymore unless she gets a job or gets married, because she's been kind of just partying and sleeping around. So they get her a job at the ministry, and she's going to be the secretary to Percy. And if you know Percy or remember him, he's Ronald Weasley's older brother. He was a prefect, I think, in the third year. And so he's like a buttoned up, tight, like stick up his butt kind of guy. And so she goes in to be his secretary, and he's pretty cold, pretty dismissive, very particular in how he wants things done. But she actually does a really, really good job. But you could tell Percy's like fighting his attraction to her, and that he kind of is a dom, like a little bit more of a dominant, and wants her to be submissive and stuff. He even like does this thing where he tells her what to wear, and she'll wear it for him. It was like a pretty good, slow burn. I felt like it was like a lot of lead up in this like workplace kind of romance. And, I just wish there was more like a POV from Percy's, perspective. I understand why they did it. So you don't really know what's going on in his head, but I would have really liked that. I think it would have added a little bit more. She's basically all in on him. She wants to have sex with him. He starts like punishing her, doing spankings and stuff like that for errors and just stuff like that. And then they start kind of getting each other off. Mostly it's him getting her off, or having her like masturbate in front of him and all that kind of stuff. So it takes a while for them to finally have sex. And then after they have sex, he basically kind of like disses her, leaves her like a letter of like dismissing her kind of thing. And so that's really hurtful to her. And then all of a sudden he like is gonna like take a job in a different department because he can't be with her, and he just thinks he's too dark, and he wants to do too many crazy things with her, and so he kind of pushes her away. And then like 3 weeks happen, and she finds out, like she ends up quitting, and she finds out like he got his parents like wedding ring, or like a grandma's wedding ring. And so she thought he was like gonna propose to somebody else. So she goes to confront him and ends up like stuck in an elevator after she goes off on him. So that was a weird kind of scene. But he ends up telling her how much it was for her, but he didn't really know what to do. So that was kind of a weird ending, rushed ending, but I liked it. I still like the pairing of Percy and Pansy. I think they're a really interesting duo. It was cute. I kind of wanted more of an epilogue, but I think it was good. I really enjoyed it. I might give it like 4 stars, just because I kind of didn't get enough of Percy's perspective. And it didn't really hold up as much as the Draco one that I read. That was just one of the best fanfics I've ever read. So I'll think on it, but I think I might give it 4 stars. So I really enjoyed it. I had a really great time on this fanfic readathon. I think I have like my bingo board blacked out just by those few books that I read. So I had a good time. Now it's back to my TBR. I got to get a lot of other books read that were on my TBR this month. So thank you so much for watching this. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.